Hi guys, James at Rampant Lion Reviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head down to Malmö in the south of Skåne here in the south of Sweden. I'm saying south a lot this time. But for this one we're going to return to a brewery that I've not reviewed anything from in about a year and a half. But the last beer I had from them I really quite enjoyed. So definitely looking forward to trying this one for you today. So for the second time we are going to go to Sibbarps Husbryggeri and we're having a taste of their New England IPA. So this one comes in at 5.6% and this is a very recent release through Systembolaget, which if you're watching outside of Sweden is the government alcohol monopoly, if you like, that we have here. So as I say, 5.6% New England IPA. The last beer that I reviewed from these guys I'm sure was like the Citra India Pale Ale or something like that it was called, and I do remember quite enjoying that beer, so I'm very curious to see how they've done with their New England IPA. It's a style of course that is very, very popular these days, so looking forward to this one. And as always, I hope you guys enjoy my take on this beer. So as always, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other reviews that I've done from Sibbarps Husbryggeri before. No doubt I will add some more in the near future. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do please consider subscribing to the channel. The whole channel, of course, has a geography-based tagging system, so you can go into the homepage and search for beer based on country, city, state, county, prefecture, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlist of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the Swedish beers that I've reviewed for you. That's constantly being added to. This beer will appear in that list, and as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. It's always great to hear from you guys that are watching the videos, and the support that you show the channel is hugely appreciated. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about Sibbarps Husbryggeri then. So as I've mentioned to you before in the last video, Sibbarps Husbryggeri was founded by Rolf Nilsson, who's from Limhamn, which is in the southern part of Malmö here in Skåne in the south of Sweden. So he's a long-time beer enthusiast, and he also helped establish Bryghuset Finn up in Landskrona, which was founded by alumni of my university as well, actually, Lund University. But previously he'd worked in wireless communications, and apparently he developed his recipes in a small brewery in his garage, and then he brewed them initially on a larger scale at Bryghuset Finn after he helped them establish the brewery in the early days. But the beers were first released through Systembolaget in February of 2016, and they're also available in many restaurants throughout Skåne. But they recently set up their own brewery and they plan to brew over 100,000 litres of beer in 2019, but they do have the capacity to extend that up to 250,000 litres of beer per year. But Rolf and his wife now work full-time at the brewery, and they've also got 2 part-time employees in there as well. But they also plan to export their beer soon, and they'll be brewing a folksöl which will go on sale in the supermarket, of course. If you're watching outside of Sweden, again, the rule is that in Sweden, if it's anything above 3.5%, then it has to go to the Systembolaget, the government monopoly. But if it's below 3.5%, they call it folksöl, and that means that you can sell it in the supermarkets. Basically a people's beer, I guess it would literally translate to, but basically that means that it's below 3.5% and it can be sold in the supermarkets. But yeah, that's all you really need to know about Sibbarps Husbryggeri just now. Quite a nice small brewery. They also recently hosted their own festival as well, which apparently was a kind of raving success. They got a lot more people than they actually thought they were going to for that. Unfortunately I couldn't go to that one, but I will need to keep an eye on their Facebook page and see if I can go to the next one. But yeah, interesting little brewery this one, and it is cool to see more and more little breweries popping up in and around Malmö. So yeah, so if you want to learn a little bit more, of course, check out the brewery website in the description below, and you can follow them on Facebook and all this kind of thing. We can get rid of the brewery notes now and get on to the tasting of this beer itself. So on the side here it says New England IPA är ljusig IPA med frutig smak. So it's a juicy IPA with a fruity taste, medelbeska och inslag av passionfruit, ananas, citrus och grapefruit. So yeah, with mild bitterness and sort of like infusions or elements of passion fruit, pineapples, citrus. I don't know if that wouldn't be lemon, I don't think, because I thought lemon was citron, and grapefruit as well. So yeah, basically it's telling you that it's going to be a nice kind of fruity New England style IPA. There you can see the bird on the front of this one. This of course is the symbol of the brewery, Sibbarps Husbryggeri, New England IPA. All their beers do tend to be a similar style of artwork, by the way, just different colours usually depending on what beer it is. And they've also got this now, which I don't remember being on the last beer that I had from them. They've got these nice little bottle caps there. But yeah, like I said, this one is a brand new release through Systembolaget. This was released on the 1st of October 2018. So I'm reviewing this one for you pretty fresh because today is the 3rd of October. So yeah, I've basically got this, stuck it in the fridge, and you know, away we go. But yeah, without further ado then, let's get this guy out and we'll get on with the tasting then. So as I said, 5.6%, am I remembering correctly? Yeah, 5.6% New England IPA, this one. So let's get it out and into the glass. We'll see how we got on with this one. Like I said, the last beer that I reviewed from these guys was yeah, no sediment in this one. But yeah, like I said, the last beer that I reviewed from these guys was like a Citra West Coast IPA, I'm sure, if I'm remembering correctly. It was definitely Citra something. And I'll tell you straight away, with this one you can really smell some lovely fruity notes coming off the beer as you open it up and put it into the glass. But with this one you can see it's a nice hazy colour. I would say it's not as hazy as some of the beers you're going to get from the likes of Brewski and Stigbergets and things like that. So I wonder if this one's going to have the kind of a little bit of a West Coast mouthfeel, but the New England flavour. It's definitely got a little bit of that kind of oaty haze there. If I put my fingers behind the glass, you can see there is a degree of transparency to this. There's a solid finger and a half of a frothy, I would say perfect white head on this one. One or two big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass, and a few little ones heading up towards the bottom of that head there. And I can tell you, I'm pretty sure, just going by the aroma that's coming off this beer already, I think there's Simcoe hop in this one. I'm almost certain of that, just from the way the aroma's kind of coming off this beer. You know, if it's passion fruit, it could also be Galaxy. They're saying that it has a little bit of pineapple in it. That would maybe make it Galaxy. I've always found Simcoe to be very straight up grapefruit, but just from the aromas I'm getting out of this one, I reckon there's Simcoe in this beer. So it's always fun to play guess the hops right enough. But in terms of appearance, this one, it really does look very much, you know, as you would expect from the New England IPAs. But let's take a closer look at the aroma then and just see how we get on with this one. Yeah, lovely big fruity juicy aroma to this one. Yeah, mangoes, I think. Definitely passion fruit in this. I'm pretty sure there's Simcoe in this, to be quite honest with you. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of a kind of citra to this one as well. But yeah, it's interesting, this. Definitely, as I say, it's passion. For me, the aroma of this is passion fruit all the way. There's not really any grapefruit to this, like they were saying on the bottle, but I think a little bit of mango in there. Definitely passion fruits, like I was saying. There could be a little bit of citra or something in here, but I'm still going to stick with my prediction of Simcoe for this one. But yeah, there are some other juicy tropical fruits in there. Pineapples, you know, I could agree with that. Maybe a little bit of lychee or something like that in there as well coming out the end. The lychee though would be quite strong in this one. I think mangoes, passion fruit, a little bit of lychee or something like that. So it's not quite peach that's coming off this one. It's quite like a fruit salady quality that's coming out of this beer. It's got a big juicy note to it. In terms of the grassy floral side of the hops, I'd say it's more grassy. This one, it's not got so much of a kind of spicy floral note to it, I would say. More grassy than anything else, but a big nice juicy aroma coming out of this one. A little bit of a nice kind of doughy bready sort of thing to this one too. Nice bit of an almost wheaty smoothness, some oaty creaminess like I said, but also a nice juicy fruity quality like I was saying. But overall, you know, the aroma is very nice on this one. I like how it's leaning towards that juicy fruity side of things. But yeah, without further ado then, let's have a taste of this one. So this one is the New England IPA, a new release through Systembolaget on the 1st of October 2018 from the Sibbarps Husbryggeri in Limhamn in Malmö. So let's get stuck into this one then. Slanje, skål. Yeah, that's a good beer, this one. I like that. I mean, it kind of in a way is sort of like I predicted. It's got a little bit of that West Coast mouthfeel to it, but it's got the New England flavour. And I have to admit, you know, I've said that in a number of reviews now, I do miss the kind of bitterness that you get from some of the West Coast IPAs. It seems to have been forgotten a little bit in favour of these kind of New England things. But this is an interesting beer, I will say that about this one. it's got a lovely kind of sweetness to it at the front, and then that kind of fades away, and you start to get a little bit more of the bitterness coming out of the hops in that. So it starts off, the way the malts are coming in, it starts off like quite a sweet beer, this, but then it just almost, it's almost like it dries up on the palate a little bit, and then you start to get these kind of bitter notes out from the hops. It's quite interesting that it's sweet in the middle, and then you really start to notice the hoppy bitterness on the edge of this one, which is quite unusual actually. I can't think of a beer that I've come across recently that does that. But yeah, it's a nice sort of easy drinking New England IPA, this one. I will say about this one, it's not as in your face as the likes of things that you're going to get from, say, Malmö Brewing Company, or you know, like Steve Berriot's or Brewski or anything like that. This one I think is more it's more designed, I guess, to be like a sort of easy drinking, kind of more sessionable sort of beer, this. And I think, you know, if I remember saying something similar about the other one from these guys, they do their beers, just they're not to be in your face, but they're to be nice, kind of easy drinkers. And this one, it has everything you'd expect from the style, but it's just, the intention of this beer, I think, is to just be a sort of easy drinking one, and it fits that bill kind of really well, I would say. So yeah, with this one, middle of your palate, then you can feel a little bit of that pale malt just kind of forming the linchpin of the beer. On top of that, you do start to get a little bit of a kind of wheatiness from this one. And I've actually just noticed that it tells you the hops on the side of this one. So it was Galaxy. It wasn't. It wasn't. I was right about the Citra, but it was Galaxy. But as I said, Galaxy can give you the passion fruit as well. But with this one, I was more looking to see if it had wheat malt in it, but it doesn't say. It just says pale. It just says, yeah, it has got wheat malt in it, pale malt, and pale malt, wheat malt, and havre malt, which I think is just, you know, basic kind of grains actually. But yeah, it's really nice, this one, and it's saying on the side as well you've got Columbus and Amarillo with this beer. So Amarillo will always give you a little bit of an orange, but I don't think there's too much in the way of an orange kind of flavour in this one, which is interesting. Yeah, I mean, for me, this one, it's all about the mangoes and the passion fruit there, but we'll get onto the fruits in a minute. Like I was saying, with the malt base in this one, you can feel that kind of paleo malt just given the sort of baseline of this beer. On top of that, you get the wheaty kind of smoothness, and then right in the middle of the palate, you've got a little bit of that almost kind of oaty quality, that little oaty creaminess coming out of the beer, and there's a little bit of a kind of biscuity sweetness to this one. I'm finding initially it's almost got a little bit of a kind of bread and butter quality to it, this beer as well, but like I say, it comes in kind of sweet and then it just dries out a little bit, this one, which is really interesting. Yeah, just pay attention to that, and the front kind of, towards the front of your palate, you just get this little bread and buttery sort of thing out of this beer, which is really nice. Hoppy side of the thing of this beer then, back corners of the palate, little touch of earthiness there, but as you come further forward along the sides of the palate, you've got this really quite spicy floral aromatic note to this one, and it says it's got Columbus in it. And that's the Columbus coming out. This Columbus gives you this really very spicy floral aromatic note, and it can some people describe it as an almost like curry-ish kind of quality. Some people describe it as a little bit almost aniseed as well, but you can really feel that spice, that floral spice, as you come towards the front corners of the palate there. That floral spice from the Columbus in this one really is coming out, and then round the very front curve of the palate, it's just a little bit lighter and more grassy, and then behind the front curve of the palate, that's where you've got that little oily bubble coming out of the of where you get all these nice kind of fruity esters to the beer. So for me with this one, there is a little touch of grapefruit to this one. You can feel a little bit of that just towards the back of that oily bubble there. In front of that though, you start to get the passion fruit, the slightly juicier passion fruit. So I've always found grapefruit is quite a sour flavour, but you can feel that just at the back of the palate there, and then towards the front a little bit more, you get the passion fruit and the mangoes just sitting there in on top of that. Yeah, I would stick with that. I have to admit, for me, I'm not getting too much in the way of the orange that you would normally expect from the Amarillo in this one. The Amarillo is always a big oily orange hop. The other hops, of course, that you can get orange from, the likes of Pacifica, you can get a little bit from Mosaic as well, but then you get blueberries with it too. Azaka's the other one, and for me there's not too much in the way of orange, I think, coming out of this one. It's more for me about the grapefruits, the passion fruits, and the mangoes in this one. As you go further into the aftertaste, you maybe get a little bit of an almost lychee, kind of gooseberry thing coming out of this one, right on the tip of your tongue. But as I say, mainly a bit of dark grapefruit, and that kind of builds a good bridge with the spiciness that this beer has as well. But with this one, it's just really interesting how everything goes together. It's a nicely done New England IPA, this, and it's a little bit different. As I say, that kind of spicy floral aromatic note. This one I think is a good bit more bitter than some of the New England IPAs you're going to come across. I'd guess that this one's up around sort of 50 IBUs, maybe even pushing a little bit higher than that. And normally these beers are 40 at most, so it's interesting in that regard. It has the New England flavours to it, but it's got a little bit more of that kind of spicy bitterness that you might expect from the West Coast IPA. But at the same time, it remains like a nice kind of solid, easy drinker, I would say. In terms of the mouthfeel then, for me, this one is a kind of mid-bodied beer. Nice little bit of an oily quality. It has a little bit of that oily quality. It's not quite got the same creaminess as you can get from some of the beers within this kind of style bracket. It's got a little bit of a wet mouthfeel to it as well overall. Nice big hoppy bitterness, this one. Like I said, I reckon this is about 50 IBUs. Could even be a little bit more than that, so it is a little bit more bitter than you'd normally get for the New England style. Bit of smoothness to the malt base there. I think it kind of almost bitters up a little bit. The hops start to push into the middle of your palate on this one, which is quite interesting. But nice little bit of smoothness to the malt base. Little touch of sweetness in there as well, and some nice kind of juicy fruits to the beer too. As I say, I was quite surprised with this one. I was reckoning it was passion fruit that I recognised out of the aroma right away on this one, and I was thinking it was Simcoe initially. But as it says on the side, they've got Galaxy in this. I thought Citra too, but I didn't expect Amarillo. I wasn't picking up orange in the aroma and things like that, and the Columbus you really do get from the flavour, that nice sort of spicy note. So overall, like I said, this is a really nice, it's a well done New England IPA. It's not quite as in your face as some of the ones you're going to get from as I say, the likes of Brewski, Malmö Brewing Company, Stigbergets and things like that. This one is intentioned, I think, to be a nice sort of easy drinking kind of beer, and that's what Sibbarps Husbryggeri are really quite good at. The Citra West Coast IPA that I had from them before was really quite nice, and you know, they've done another very, very solid beer, so you can't ask for much more from them than that. So yeah, thumbs up again from me for Sibbarps Husbryggeri. I need to try their, I think they've got a lager beer as well. I've heard their lager kind of Pilsner style beer is very good, so I need to try and get a hold of that and review it at some point as well. But yeah, another very, very solid beer from these guys, and as I say, you can't ask for much more than that. This one, a little bit more hoppy and better than you'd normally expect from a New England IPA, but really quite solid. It's got everything that you'd expect from the style, and it's nice and kind of easy going and sessionable. So if you're in Malmö, have a go with this one and just see what you think for yourself. But yeah, let's leave it at that. So this one was the New England IPA from Sibbarps Husbryggeri in Limhamn in Malmö. Really interesting beer this. As always, thank you for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Let me know your own thoughts on this beer in the comment section below. Let me know what your favourite beers are from Sibbarps Husbryggeri as well. Do check out my social media, and I'll catch you guys very soon with more beer reviews. Check out this one if you get the chance. It's a really kind of interesting, a little bit unusual New England IPA. This, if you're a Malmö local, you certainly will enjoy this one. So until the next time, it's Landed just now, and I will catch you guys later. Skål.